So today sucked, and we're here to tell you all about it. My name's Triss Leder.
And I'm Forrest Leder, and we're talking life, health, and sanity, and finding sunshine in the rain.
All right, you think we got it? 6 takes in. Did we get it this time?
Yes.
Yeah? Okay, good. So, Forrest, what did you do today? Really? Right into the mic? You're gonna just roll with that?
This water is wet.
Oh, no. Uh-huh. And?
Hydrating.
Mm-hmm. So what'd you do today, Forrest?
I drank water, Tristan.
Why did you drink water, Forrest?
Because my doctor said, "Do you drink enough water?" And I thought about it and I was like, does coffee count?
I don't think it does.
No, coffee doesn't count.
Oh, yeah, she told you. It doesn't count.
No, it doesn't count.
Yeah.
So I'm supposed to drink at least 64 ounces of water a day. And I have a 32-ounce water bottle. Mm-hmm. So I'm supposed to drink at least 2 of them.
That's some very simple math. Good job.
I'm trying to go with that.
Yeah, you're just rolling with it. Okay.
Yeah.
That's fair. That's fair. So you had a doctor's appointment yesterday. Don't worry, not for anything huge. He's fine. But what else did your doctor say for us?
I should sleep.
Mm-hmm.
That's yeah, sleeping is good.
More sleep. Yep.
And drink water.
And drink water.
I mean, there was other stuff too.
Yeah.
We talked about my ADD.
Mm-hmm.
And she suggested that doing a cognitive behavioral therapy, finding ways to, like, specific ways to cope with distractions might be helpful.
Yep. Yep.
So, yeah.
So all good things.
Yeah, good things.
Good things to do for being a good you.
Yeah.
But I feel like you missed a big one.
What?
The big thing.
Are you going to say go to the doctor? Because I already did that.
Yeah, and I only had to bug you for 2 years.
I've been telling you I was going to do it.
Yeah, for 2 years.
Yeah, exactly. It only took me 2 years to get around to it.
Oh, my dear Lord. So how was the rest of your day?
I mean, had some stress, realizing that there was too much. Too much stuff.
Too much stuff. We do have a lot of stuff in our house. You're right.
I glare at you.
Ooh, I got a good eye roll out of that one.
I glare at you. We're too busy.
Yeah.
We've been taking too much stuff on in our life, and today was a day of realizing that we needed to cut some of that out.
We needed to cut it out, huh?
I don't. Who are you?
Yeah, all my under like 25s out there are not gonna get that, but that's okay. Yeah, I was right there with you, trying to figure out where our life went. So we were looking at the last like 6 months or so, and friends and neighbors going, "What happened to you guys?"
Yeah, our next door neighbor said that it was like they were a little worried about us because we just dropped off the face of the planet.
Yeah.
And they're right. You know, we haven't seen friends and and I mean, part of it, of course, there's the pandemic stuff going on.
Right, but these ones in particular are not individuals that we have strictly adhered to the stay-at-home quarantine orders that have happened.
I mean, home is such a nebulous term.
Yeah, home in our life is kind of our little neighborhood, like our couple blocks of neighborhood, because otherwise, I don't know, our children would have killed us or we would have killed them at some point in the last 6 months. I don't know which would have happened first, but we have an awesome neighborhood, and it's a small community, so...
And to be clear, you know, it's very close to being family in the people that we spend time with.
Yes, indeed.
Like, we're not going around with lots of people and all that kind of stuff. If we go out from our home, then we wear masks and all those things.
We are good citizens, we promise.
But the big thing was that, like, this is even since the stay-at-home stuff happened, that, like, we still had been visible, and then we just disappeared because we've been really busy with other.
Well, there's a particular project that we've been kind of at the forefront of, and for the first bit of it, we were happy to. There was some circumstances with the other people in our team that, needed it to be as such. And that was fine. But the demands of that hadn't really let up.
Yeah, we hit the fall where, like we've talked about before, we're both employed by school district. And then I also am a choir director for a nonprofit youth choir, and like a youth community choir kind of thing. And the those kind of responsibilities, it wasn't like they just like slowly built back up. It was like,
no, it was
boom,
the space
all
of
of
like
these
4
things
days.
are on now.
Everything is ready to go, is going.
And
additionally, then we have both of our kids who are, so they're in kindergarten and 3rd grade that are doing remote learning, which means that they're home with us all the time. And so we're helping them with school while we're trying to work. And that all hit all at once.
Yeah. And so just finding that because we had so many kind of, to use the juggling metaphor, so many balls in the air, that we were having trouble keeping them all up there. And so we're dropping them in places and still trying to pick them up. But other parts of our life were suffering because we have too many things to focus and give the attention that they need.
And I think that's the thing, is that neither of us really like or accept doing something half. We don't really accept doing things not to the best of our ability. And so I think where the balls tend to get dropped for us is in self-care, in personal time, in,
sleep,
in our relationship even. And I mean, don't get me wrong, like, we're good, we're golden, we're awesome. But I think because of that, it actually makes it a little bit harder to make relationship time a priority. Because we're okay. We don't need to have time away. We don't need to whatever to be okay. And so that suffers as well. And that's not good, especially in a long-term sense. And I think we absolutely did just hit today. We hit burnout on the stuff and decided that we weren't going to just keep trying to keep going forward, but rather we're going to work with our team on how to fix it.
Yeah. Telling people, like, we need help. We need things to be different. And there's something to be said for that, of just kind of like we've talked about before, of reaching out for help when you need it. And in this, we feel very supported in that, I think. And also, just realizing, kind of like we've talked about, this has been a running theme for us, of recognizing our limits, and paring things back so that we can do our life well and have joy in those things. And that's another part of the point of what we're doing here in reflecting on the day and our life changes and everything, is that we want to have joy in the process. Yeah. Finding that stuff that works, and finding our way to be happy in where we are every step along the way.
Yeah, absolutely. And well, on the one hand, things worth doing are hard. And sometimes there are parts of things worth doing that you really don't like to do, that aren't fun to do. We have 3 cats. You hear from them every so often, that we adore. We've had them since they were kittens. All 3 of them are in their teens. We've had them forever. They're going to live the rest of their lives and die in this house, probably. We adore them. I would not choose to scoop a cat box just for its own merit.
No, you just do it because you have to.
But you do it because it's part of the thing.
Mm-hmm. Just like changing diapers on a baby. Nobody likes doing that.
Right, but it's part of the thing.
Mm-hmm.
And, but on the flip side, this project that we're working on, I got to the point, I realized at least today, that I'm at the point that I don't like it anymore. This thing that it's a volunteer thing. It's not a job thing. It's a thing that we're doing as a kind of a passion thing that we enjoy doing. I don't enjoy it anymore. I don't like it anymore because I've been doing so much of it, and I've been so overwhelmed with it that I don't find joy in it anymore. And it's where I have been, and we have been putting a lot of our time and a lot of our focus. And if I'm spending that much of my life, see, there's the cat I was talking about. If I'm spending that much of my life putting effort into this thing, I want to like doing it. And if I don't, then something's either got to change. Either I actually don't like doing the thing at all, so I need to quit and do something else, or something has got to change. And I think that we've got to a working solution that sounds pretty good to us, of like, oh yeah, now if we could do it like that, that would make it better. Yeah.
And I feel good about it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Thinking about how we've got it set up now, it's happy. It's an exciting thing.
Mm-hmm. But I think it took us this long to get to this point because we don't want to let our team down, and we don't want them to feel like, we're trying to pass the buck or make other people do way more work than we do or whatever else. But I think just simply admitting, hey, this is having an adverse effect on, like you said earlier today, Forrest, like it's having an adverse effect on literally every aspect of our life, our relationship, our household, our parenting, our work, it's having an adverse effect on everything. And if that's the case, then that's a thing that needs to change.
Yeah, that's a problem. So we addressed it. And I can speak for myself, but I think connect it with yours also, that it's a weight off.
Yeah, I think so.
I mean, we haven't gone forward from it yet, from the decision here that we made and how to address and stuff, but it has taken hours and hours and hours and hours off of our calendar of things that we were doing, that now we can put that time into spending with family, spending with each other, spending on our hobbies, spending with friends, spending on being able to go for a walk.
Having a life.
Yeah, having a life.
Having a life that has been missing for several months.
Yeah, and we didn't, I don't think, realize.
No, I didn't. Because I think that the time that something can take when it's not all lumped together like a job, the time that something takes away from you, or not even away from you, but just time that it takes, can really add up, and you don't realize it because it's spread out. And so until we actually sat down and kind of did a rough estimate adding up of how much time we were collectively spending on this stuff, and then stepped back from it and went, wow, that's a lot. Like, that is a lot of time. And, you know, that kind of puts it in a different perspective, I think, from, well, maybe I'm just kind of being lazy, so I don't want to do this, so I want to pawn it off on somebody else, to, oh, I have a part-time job doing this.
Right.
Those are two very different things.
Yeah, and imagine, you know, if it's taking care of a cat and you get like 5 minutes of snuggles with your kitty cat, and then, you know, you spend 3 hours cleaning cat boxes.
Yeah, that is not a payoff that is acceptable.
Right. You know, doing a little bit of cat box stuff here and there, and then having the rest of the time that you get to play with a laser pointer or give them scritchings and stuff.
Have them drool on you.
You want the happy part of things to be the thing that has the greater part.
Yeah.
So we have flipped the script on that for us to go from the greater part of our time in that project being the stressful, to having the greater part of our time on that being the joyful.
Yeah.
And that's a positive thing for sure.
I'm gonna sound like I'm waxing philosophical here, but it's interesting as I've gotten older and whatnot, the more that I've kind of realized how much your life consists of choosing where to spend your time. Because you never have enough of it. There's never enough of it, but you are constantly choosing. And so that means that whatever you are choosing to do, there's that many things that you are actively choosing not to do.
Yeah.
And I think that all of us, to some extent, but definitely somebody like myself with a lot of anxiety and whatnot, there's a decent amount of guilt that goes along with that. They're like, well, I chose to do this during this time, but I also should have done this and this and this. And being able to, you know, try to at least put that down and say, no, you know, self-care for me is not unimportant. It can become something like that can become a problem if that becomes all important. Right. But I think that goes for anything. If you have anything that becomes all important, it's an issue. And as much as, you know, this might be a strange thought, we're not supposed to just be like actively working, doing stuff all the time.
Yeah. We're not robots.
No. And it's okay to protect the time that is meant for not that, whether it's whether that work is, you know, job work or you know, work on something that you are passionate about. Finding those boundaries is extremely important, and I think that we made a good step today in defining a boundary that we hadn't.
Yeah, definitely.
So what about you guys? What kind of boundaries do you have to set for yourself? Or are there ones that you have a hard time setting for yourself? It's been an interesting practice for us today to think through those things. So let us know. Throw us a comment or something like that to let us know what you think.
Yeah. And if you want to talk to us more than just in the comments, you can find us on Twitter. You can find me at Fearless Leader.
And I am at Triss_Joy. And we're pretty active on there. We love chatting with you guys, and we'd love to hear from you. But there it goes. That's the alarm. That being said, we were good citizens and did our yoga, and now I think we're going to steal 20 minutes of time together before bed.
I think that sounds good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, see you next time, suckers.